Today we are going to get out into the backyard and we are going to be harvesting some worm castings. Yes, you heard it right. Worm casting harvesting. They do sell it in the store, right? Okay, well, I got it for free right here in my backyard. And to have this going on and to be able to produce this in your yard, in your soil, in your garden, you have to provide the conditions for that. And so I have a compost pile right here. And it's not just about the compost pile, it's just about having the natural materials in the soil, natural and organic materials like your wood chips and so on. I have wood chips in my yard. Everybody does it different and everybody have different materials in there, but I raise chickens and so I compost all that natural stuff and it encourages the worms to come into my soil. It attracts them. But first I'm going to pull these weeds up and I'm going to dump it because it's natural. I'm going to dump it right in my compost pile right here. Right? So that's going to break down and it's going to encourage the worms to come around. So I'm just going to clear this top layer of materials that has not yet broken down and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scoop up that good, rich, natural worm compost and I'm going to save it to add to my indoor garden for the winter season. So yes, it's going to be going indoors. I'm going to sit it in my garage for a couple months. Maybe if there's any bugs or so in it, it would die off. But the earthworms that are in there, it's going to survive and it's going to stay in there and continue to do its thing and replenish the soil that's in here. I'm going to add some chicken compost with that, mix it up. It's really nice and light material, so there's no need to do much with it. If you look right here, you'll see how much worm castings are right here where I'm growing this mulberry plant, and it's the first year I'm growing it. I planted it last fall and look how much it's grown. So it has all that rich material that's good for actually fertilizing this plant, and it's growing pretty well being in this type of soil with these materials in it. And right here I have some logs and I'm just going to roll it back so you can see what's going on under here. These worms are just loving the material that's here. It's all natural material. And this wood, these pieces of logs right here, I just put it here to act as a border for my compost pile. You know, so it's not that I deliberately put it there for the reason of encouraging the earthworms to come there. But just, as you can see, my entire, compost and really this little herb section I have with ginger and all different herbs growing here, I have logs just to make a border, so we can have a path to walk by. But it's doing something that is good for the garden, and it's encouraging the earthworms to come and to work the soil and to release its castings so I can give that back to my garden, give that back to the soil. I can move it around in places where it doesn't have as much of this material as I would like it to have. Look at this. It's nice and light material. It's rich. It's nice and dark. I love the texture of it. And it's just amazing to see how nature works. Like, I didn't intend for this to happen, but then doing this, just putting the logs there, showed me. Look at all these earthworms here, and I'm not using a tool to gather this earthworm castings because I don't want to damage the worms. I just want them to be in the soil and do what they're doing so I can benefit from it. The soil can benefit from it. I can grow my food in it. But nature just teaches you so many things, and it's simple. Just do what nature enjoys, because if you're not doing the right thing, it'll show you. But look how many worms. And yes, I have a pair of gloves on, but I do not like the crawly, creepy insects, even though I know they have so much benefits, and I don't really like touching them with my hands, especially when there's a whole bunch of them in one spot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and collect this earthworm castings, and let me just show you right here how many of them are in this one spot. Look at that. One spot. So many worms, and I haven't even touched the area yet. But you will see right here once I start touching. And look at this. This just makes me happy, and I feel so fortunate to be able to benefit from this for free. It really is for free once you put in the work. So I'm just going to move this heavier stuff right here. And this is supposed to be on my compost pile, but for some reason it trickled down in the corner. And, you know, it was a benefit for the worms. They love this material and they're in there enjoying the, it keeps the soil also moist too. When it rains, all those materials, the leaves and the wood chips and all that, keeps the soil moist. And so it's a really good environment that the earthworm favors. So they thrive really well and they multiply in there and they work the soil. So all around it's great benefit. Look at all these crawly things, and it's starting to freak me out now because they're moving faster than I would like them to move. They're bigger than I would prefer them to be with me touching them. Ah! I can't. So much worms. I do not like crawly things. I'm not going to play brave or too brave, but oh my gosh, this feels, ooh. This feels, and the reason I'm doing this with my hands is because I don't want to hurt the worms. If you notice, every time I stick my hand in there, I'm pulling out a worm. So I don't want to hurt them, but I want the benefit of what they're doing in there. So I'm not going to use a tool to do this. But I'm out here just harvesting this good, rich, organic. Oh my gosh, the worm came here, man. They're almost like in my way of doing this, but it's a lot of worms, y'all. A lot of worms. So if you put in the work and you set up yourself with these organic materials, you'll definitely get good results. Look at this fat one. Look how fat this one is. Oh my gosh, I can't anymore. There's just a lot of worms here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put back some leaves right in this spot right here. In one of these, so the conditions will be favorable for them. They love that stuff. They would love that stuff, y'all. Then I'm gonna cover it back with this log. Make sure I don't squish them. Okay, here we go. So this is what it looks like now. And they have room under there, inside there, where they can go to work and keep producing that good worm casting. And now let me just walk you over here. Yeah, I have compost heaps everywhere. But let me just walk you over here at the base of this oak tree right here and show you another way you can actually gather your worm castings or your rich soil. Because if you look right here, you would see the worms would show you, release its castings and show you actually that, you know, it's working the soil right here. See this huge tree right here? I have some burdock worm right there, but I'm just going to show you the worm castings at the base of this tree. I'm just going to remove these wood chips right here. Just scrape it away like so. And if you notice, this is all worm casting, and there's definitely worm presence in there. It is worm presence right in here. Look at that. See, the worms are working the soil. So I'm gonna also harvest all of this material right here. Look at that, nice and light. See how it's not a heavy type soil right there? It's just nice and light and rich. So I'm just going to keep digging at this, and I'm going to go around the entire base of the tree, and I'm going to scoop all that material out. And when I'm all done, I'll put back some of those wood chips and all the materials that are in there. I'm just going to pull this weed out here and scrape away some more wood chips and just show you how this works, because it's very simple and you have to put in the work. It's just simple work. But look at that. See? Almost like going up the tree. You can actually grab material from right in there. Look at that. Nice, light, rich material. And this is a huge oak tree right here that I'm going to be gathering all that good healthy soil from at the base of that tree. So I'm going to get in that soil because the sun is already hitting the back here and I want to gather it today. It's one of the things on my to-do list. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, get it out of the way, and I'll be on to the next thing that's on my list. I hope you enjoyed this video and this video inspires you to get up and actually do stuff and plan your stuff or plan your gardening stuff out. Even if it's for next year, make sure you start planning this year, because you're going to realize that one of the things that it takes to have a successful garden is to be consistent and be proactive. I hope this video inspires you, and as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time right here on Fifi's Journey.